Hey, welcome to the Pink Couch. Tonight's episode, lies.
If you need clarity, have a conversation. Protect your sanity. Have a conversation. Come to the Pink Couch and talk it out with Coach Lele. With Coach Lele. With Coach Lele. Yeah. A simple conversation brings much clarity.
So, here we are back again at the Pink Couch. Yeah, I said it with my chest. Because you know what? These types of things do a lot of damage to people's lives, relationships, health even. And so we're going to talk about the danger of lies tonight. So let's define what a lie is, okay? In this context of which I'm using the word, I'm using it as a verb, okay? And so actually they may call it intransitive verb. But anyway, it means to make an untrue statement with intent to deceive. To make an untrue statement with intent to deceive. It also is defined as to create a false or misleading impression. It means to bring about by telling lies, like you lied your way out of trouble. So an untrue or inaccurate statement that may or may not be believed true by the speaker or the writer. So something that misleads or deceives. So this is what a lie is defined as. So my grandma used to say, a lie don't care who tell it. And it's the truth, because there are people out here that just lie like it's another language. You can be, if you're a good listener, in one conversation, you can pick up at least one lie. I know, especially when people want to borrow your money. And especially when they want something from you, they have the most elaborate sob story that you could not imagine. And in that discourse, first they lost their job. Next thing, they cut their hours. Which is it? So if they're lying to you about circumstances, then the need might be questionable. But what happens is, because the kind-hearted people who are always trying to help somebody, we're so busy trying to help, we're not listening. So then you have people who just want to destroy somebody's reputation because of their jealousy and their envy. Do you know you can simply walk into a room? That's it. Walk into a room, you dress really nice, you smell good, and people will try to create something to discredit what they admire. A lot of people admire you secretly, but they won't tell you that. So they'll turn around and try to make a lie about you to make you look unattractive, uninteresting, unproductive in the eyes of other people. Because if you really think about it, people who take the time to create a lie, they already know the truth. And so, like I said, the definition said it's making an untrue statement with the intent to deceive. So they know this person is who can help you. They know this person is a great photographer. They know this person is a great tax preparer. Just using just different examples. But because they are jealous of their productivity, their look, their swag, if you will, they will make an untrue statement with the intent to deceive you, which means they don't want you to know the real truth about that person. And so we're going to talk about the danger of lies today. We're going to talk about different scenarios. So in my research, lies are dangerous because they erode trust, destroy reputations, and cause severe emotional, social, and physical harm. They often create a snowball effect where small deceptions escalate into larger ones, altering brain chemistry to make dishonesty easier over time. Ain't that something? Lies destroy relationships, they damage self-respect, they hinder personal growth, and they often lead to anxiety, high blood pressure, and social isolation. That was from a study from the University of Notre Dame. So listen, lies are so dangerous. And this is why, that's why the Bible says a liar will not tarry in his sight. What is a liar? Somebody who tells lies. That's all they do. They cannot tell you the truth. Because once you tell one lie, you gotta take another one, pick up another one to keep it going. And you don't forgot how many lies you told. But there's somebody who's an active listener that remembers everything you said, and they're going to bring you back into account of what you said in times past. So the key dangers of lies, number one, destruction of trust and relationships. Lies break down the foundation of relationships, making it difficult for others to trust or rely on you. The lie sounds good at the time, but once you are pinned to be a liar, nobody will trust you. Do you remember the story about the little boy who cried wolf? You know, you can lie so long that when you need help, you're not going to be able to get it. This is what we don't understand. What we say has power, okay? So if you're in a relationship and you try to make somebody stay with you and you lie about being sick or you lie about always needing something, eventually you're going to be sick because you kept speaking it over yourself. And so a lot of people are battling things right now because they made untrue statements with the intent to deceive, but those words have power and now they've attached themselves to your body. And we got to understand that. And so the foundation of any relationship is trust. So when you use lies, it will destroy the trust in the relationship. If you lie about a cookie, you'll lie about killing somebody. Grandma also say you scratch a lie, you'll find a thief. They say if you lie, you'll steal. If you steal, you'll kill. So in other words, it leads to other things. So with that being said, it makes people hard to trust you. When you lie to me about something so simple, when you have a real issue, it's going to be hard for me to believe that. And it's crazy that we have to use discernment just to be in a friendship with somebody, just to be in a marriage with somebody. Some of y'all married people lie a lot. Y'all lie so bad, it's ridiculous. You lie about your hours. You lied about I paid the bill. You lied about I called and made a payment arrangement. And next thing you know, we got a $5,000 bill because you were lying. When you could have just said, I don't have it, my money is short. Or I spent the money on something else and I forgot. Why not just tell the truth? And me being in the church world, one of the things I do not understand is why people wait till their bill is over $1,000 to ask for help. That makes no sense to me. But the reason why they do that, because they have no intentions of paying their bill. People have stewardship issues. It's one thing to they're going to take your car. That means you haven't had a payment in 3 months, at least 3 months. But you want to say it's the devil, and you want to say, they didn't process my payment. Listen, we got to stop lying. We just got to stop it. It makes it difficult for others to trust you and rely on you. Now we talked about the snowball effect, right? And brain adaptation. Listen to this. Research indicates the brain's emotional response to lying fades over time, leading to more frequent and larger lies. When you lie so much, your brain no longer convicts you. That's a problem. That's a whole problem. It's a scientific fact that the brain's emotional response to lying fades over time. So if you are a liar, you're quicker to believe a lie because that's what you do. And so after a while, your lies become more frequent and they become more aggrandized. All right, let's talk about the physical and mental health costs, okay? Chronic lying, y'all ain't gonna like this, but chronic lying is linked to higher stress. Increased, cortisol levels and physical symptoms like higher blood pressure. Ain't that something? Because your body knows it's a lie. So your body is stressed out because your body is known to truth. You want to know how I know? Let me make it simple for you. When your body is not feeling well, they know that disease is not supposed to be in it. So it begins to send off alarms, whether it's a headache, whether it's an ache in your body, whether it's an upset stomach. Your body is knowing sickness is not supposed to be here. So we're trying to defend ourselves and fight it off. Well, you got fevers and stuff like that. So what happens is you have to go to the doctor or you go to the drugstore and you get some medicine to calm down whatever those symptoms are so your body can function again. So now, okay, sickness is gone now, the stress is gone, and now we can flow we're supposed to. So when you are a chronic liar, you always stressed out. Because you paranoid. You don't know when the lie's going to find you out. And now because you are stressed, stress is a silent killer. Stress aggravates other things in your body because you're lying. Go to the doctor. What's your pain level? Oh, it's about a 10. It's only a 3. But you want some stronger medication you can sell on the street. Well, guess what? Now they want to start adding more medicine to your regimen because this is what you said you're dealing with. When they start running tests, this is not there. So they stop prescribing the medication because no longer fits the situation. But this is what happens when all you want to do is lie. Yeah, you didn't know lying was tied to your health. I know, but that's why you got to read. You learn a lot when you read. Okay, so my next bullet point is erosion of self-respect. Lying damages one's own integrity and self-image, as it requires constantly ignoring one's own internal moral compass. Listen, you destroy your self-respect. Nobody that respects themselves just gonna be lying on people and causing a bunch of confusion. But as you keep doing it, your own integrity and your self-image is damaged because of that. Then you have a loss of freedom. Maintaining lies requires constant mental energy and creates a complex web of deception that can be embarrassing and damaging when exposed. So you lose your freedom now because you're so busy trying to figure out, what did I tell this person? Because a liar don't just lie to one person, they lie to everybody. You hear what I said? A liar does not just lie to one person, they lie to everybody. So all your people in your circle, all people in your friends, everybody at work, you got to try to figure out and remember the last lie you told. And so now your energy is off. Your mental energy. So now you're not productive in business, on your job, in your lifestyle, because you got to figure out, what lie do I got to take next to make people believe what I said the last day? Because it takes a lot of work to make a lie believable. People, you making yourself cry and you make yourself break out in a sweat or you going to the back putting Vaseline in your eyes or something, trying to make it seem like you so emotional, making your voice change. That's a lot. That's stressful on the body. You do that for acting, you get paid for it. You know what I'm saying? Because you can fulfill the role and go about your business. But when this is your life, when you have a lifestyle of lies, this is what happens to you. And so now you're embarrassed and you are damaged. Nobody wants to believe anything that you say. And then there's some people that are gullible to still deal with you. But for the most part, the people that you actually need in your life don't want to be a part of it because of the deception. So let's talk about the types of dangerous lies. Let's talk about the types. Yeah, this is deep. Your lies is deeper than what you thought. Okay, so the types of dangerous lies. Number 1, the lies you tell to yourself. You see the lie you tell to yourself. Believing you are stuck, that happiness is conditional on a future goal, or that someone else will save you. Stop lying to yourself. They don't like you. They don't respect you. They don't love you. They don't support you. Why do you keep trying to make yourself believe that they do? We got to stop lying to ourselves. Listen, just because people smile at you don't mean they like you. Listen, people will put on a facade to get what they want out of you. But we keep telling ourselves, oh, it's not that bad. Maybe I'm doing too much. Maybe my expectations are too high. No, listen. When you keep trying to make yourself think that people like you when they don't, you put yourself in danger. You put your life at risk. You put your valuables at risk because people will keep telling you, oh, you're doing great. You need to make some adjustments in your business. And they say, oh, don't worry about that. It ain't that deep. And you just become, okay, well, maybe I'm just overreacting. No. That's an indication telling you do something different, make a change, make an adjustment. But people who do not want you to be successful will not support what your initiative is telling you, what your instincts are telling you. And so when you lie to yourself, oh, that's my friend. Have they bought a book yet? Have they booked a session in your studio? Have they asked you to come speak on their platform? Have they purchased any of your products? Have they have they been advertising your stuff? Friends would do that. But they make excuses. Well, I'm too busy. But you're posting on social media. But you're answering this. You're playing games. You're changing your image on AI. You're asking Chat GPT what God said about you. Please. People make time for what they want to make time for. When we lie to ourselves, we stay stuck in unproductive relationships. And just because you are in a relationship and you feel like, well, I might as well just stay because there ain't nobody's going to want me. No, that's not true. Because see, what's happened is, you're saying nobody wants you because they can't find you. Because you've become what you are dating or who you're married to. You became what they wanted, which made you inauthentic. And so the reason why nobody wants you because they can't find you. But if you get back to your true authentic self, you'll be attracting what is designed for you. But a lot of times we dummy ourselves down. We disregard our feelings, what we like, what we want to do. I never forget, somebody asked me for a one-on-one. And so I asked them, where would you like to go? And they was like, are you serious? I want to go here because I don't never get to go because when I'm with other people, I have to go other places. No, we're going where you want to go. And that bothered me because I'm like, but that's what we do. We adapt to what I hate Outback. I can't stand it. But because that's my husband's favorite place, I find myself over there. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, what I do is when I'm by myself, I'll go on the roof. Chris and get mistake. Outback can't make a mistake for me. Sorry, no disrespect. Y'all can have it. You can be an Outbacker, Aussie fries, help yourself. It's fine. But Alicia likes the way Ruth Chris makes a steak. That's my preference. What's wrong with that? We give up our preferences trying to fulfill a purpose of somebody else's fantasy of who we think we should be. This is what happens when we lie to ourselves. Second dangerous type of lie, white lies. While intended to be kind, these can escalate and destroy trust once discovered. Listen, when I had my health crisis a couple years ago, I was mad at everybody that was my friend, but nobody told me that I was fat. Nobody said it to me. Nobody said, Alicia, pull back from the table. Nobody said it. They said, girl, you look good, blah, blah, blah. I was wearing a size 28 and my A1C was 17.2. I had no symptoms or anything, but I was obese and nobody said anything to me. And so I said, you know what? Well, let me tell the truth to myself. Okay, Alicia, 28 is not God. Get out of that. So I'm flexing between 18, 20, 22, 24, depending on how it's made. But at the end of the day, I was too big. And that's why my ankles was hurt. That's why my knees, that's why my back was hurt. Because I was overweight. My bones could not handle all that sugar from Dr. Pepper. Okay? So people try to be nice to you, but they're not really helping you. And it ends up escalating to trust. Okay, for instance, you're in a relationship and somebody knows who you're with is cheating on you. And they're supposed to be your best friend. They don't say anything. What happens when you find out they found out? Okay, I can't trust you because you knew this and didn't tell me. So you allowed me to keep pouring myself into a situation that was not productive or healthy for me. You knew that and you didn't protect me. No, that's you. Well, friends like you, who needs an enemy? That's what you say. White lies are not good either. Just tell the truth. And this is the thing. I'd rather you be mad that I told you the truth than to be mad that I didn't. So guess what? They're going to be mad either way. So you might be mad for the right thing. Okay? The next type of destructive lie is defensive lies. This is going to be good because y'all love the word narcissistic. Okay. Used to avoid conflict or protect your ego, which ultimately stunts your personal growth. You always defending yourself. You're wrong. If you're just wrong, you're just wrong. People who thrive on being wrong, it affects your body. Because remember, your body likes truth. So if you're protecting your ego, and all that type of stuff, it's going to affect you. You stunt your own personal growth. Listen, destructive and constructive criticism is given to help you grow, but you keep defending your behavior. You are mean. You're mean and you're nasty. That's why nobody want to be around you. You don't know how to talk to people. You think it's your way or no way. That's not it. That's this way I was raised. And if you can't deal with whatever, listen. It doesn't matter how you're raised. It matters how you evolve, okay? Because when you talk about how you were raised to defend your bad behavior, what you're saying is, I want to stay immature. I want to stay in dysfunction. I want to stay in chaos. So I don't want to evolve into a greater place, but you want greater opportunities. You want greater pay. You want greater promotions and things of that nature, but you won't mature into that place. So when you defend your foolishness, when you avoid conflict to protect your ego, it stunts your growth. And a lot of people are stuck right now as I'm talking to you because you won't listen to nobody. You want to defend why you do what you do, but it's not working for you. And so ultimately, while lies may offer a short-term protection or gain, they rarely lead to long-term positive outcomes, and they often cause significant, lasting, and unpredictable consequences. You gotta stop the lies. Okay, so liars often use a specific language to avoid directness, reduce accountability, and they fill gaps in with fabricated stories. And so, have you ever asked somebody a direct question and said, well, why would I do that? Instead of saying yes or no. I honestly, well, it is what it is. So I was in a relationship in my past and I asked this person, were they sleeping with my spouse at the time? Because my ex-spouse had did something for them that you would only do for a wife. Okay. And so I said, are you sleeping with them? Why would I do that? Why would you say that? They never said yes. They never said no. So that let me know something had occurred. I didn't know what, because I can't say because I wasn't there. But if you ask me something, no, are you crazy? It'd be a flat out no. When people can't give you a yes or no answer, there's some deception there. Or they say, you know me. What does that mean? So, people, they use the defensive reversal. Why would I do that? Or are you accusing me? I asked you a question. Or they'll repeat the question word for word to buy time. Instead of answering the question. Or they'll say, I don't recall, or as far as I know, or I'm not sure. That's all I can think of for now. Or they over justify, or they'll just gaslight you. Like, you're being too sensitive. I'm just trying to help. So they have a pattern. They have a language that we don't really pay attention to. And so if someone asks a question, you have to say yes or no, true or false. But when people start explaining themselves and going through this great spiel, you already know some deception there. Because just answer the question. It's just that simple. Or they'll give you something like, well, if I confront a situation, it's going to put me in another situation. But what about the situation that you're in right now? Do you care about that relationship to offer a resolve, to offer truth? But we deal with a lot of people who just lie, y'all, at the end of the day. Now, everybody has told a lie at some point. But telling a lie and then that being your lifestyle, something completely different. At the end of the day, it's all wrong, but it is too much stress to do it. And you're losing key relationships behind stuff that you don't even know. Do you understand that lying on somebody can cost you your money? It's called defamation of character. When you're intentionally spreading something that's untrue to deceive other people and it costs them their lifestyle, it costs them contract, you could be sued for that. But a lot of y'all lie on broke people, so you ain't really had to deal with that yet. But you're going to lie on the wrong person, and they're going to sue you for everything you got and what you don't have. At the end of the day, truth matters. Even in a courtroom, you can be locked up for perjury. Lying on the witness stand. What is a lie? It is making an untrue statement with the intent to deceive. Something that misleads or deceives. Okay. So, everybody knows Andrew's my favorite producer. Everybody knows that. So if another person tries to come and wants to be my producer or whatever, and they'll try to tell me, well, I heard that Andrew has some compromised situation, blah, 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 blah. Well, I know him. I have built a relationship with him. So, okay, why are you telling me this? Because I know the person they're talking about. But what if I didn't know? What if I was just a regular client, didn't have any type of relation, no background? That could cause me to pull my programming and go over here. It'd be less quality. It's not clean sound. It's not edited properly because that's all they want. They wanted my money. They didn't care about Andrew's reputation. And so you got people that do stuff like that. Y'all do that in the church world. Y'all do that in business. You make untrue statements trying to deceive somebody from working with somebody. But what I love about my life? I'm talking about my life. I had people do that to me and just make an untrue statement with the intent to deceive, but some way, somehow, me and that person end up having a conversation when they're working together and finding out that somebody didn't want us to connect. That's been the story of my life. And people who have it, who can change somebody's life, who can make a difference, they are often discredited because the person that has the problem doesn't want to be accountable for their behavior, doesn't want to be accountable for how there was a breach of that relationship. And so lies are dangerous. And so we have to understand that this is why my tagline is simple. A simple conversation brings much clarity. And in my Lele's terms, conversation kills confusion. If you want to get rid of confusion, have a conversation. But lies, once they are exposed, the truth comes out. And when the truth comes out, everybody feels better. Because when something's uneasy, you're feeling off about something, that's stressful too. Feeling uncomfortable and feeling something ain't right, that's stressful too. But when the truth comes out, everybody's able to relax, including the liar. Ain't that crazy? When the truth comes out, the liar is set free because they ain't got to continue the lies. That's a trip, but it's the reality. I know this was a hard topic to deal with because some of us have been lying to ourselves. Some of us have been lying to others. And some of us have been really trying to destroy people's character. Let me tell you something. The Bible is clear. Whatever you sow, you're going to reap that. There's no way in the world I can go outside in my garden and plant green beans and butter beans come up. It's not happening. So when you intentionally do something to damage somebody's character in the eyes of people, when you lie to yourself and not make the adjustments that you need to make, when you just want to cause a bunch of confusion, it's very damaging. And like I said earlier, there is no long-term positive outcomes. The truth will make you free. The question is, do you want to be free? Because what I found is that people that are bound are jealous of those that are free. People who can live in their truth unapologetically are automatically offensive. But guess what? That's none of your business. Continue to be the authentic person that you are. Don't believe the lies that you're not good enough. Don't believe the lies that nobody will ever choose you. Don't believe the lies that you'll never lose the weight, you'll never get well. Those are all lies we tell ourselves. And then if you are the person being lied on, you can outlive the lie and the liar. Do you hear me? The person that's lying on you could be buried before you. So you can outlive a lie. One thing my daddy always said, people can tell a lie on you or spread a rumor. Just make sure it ain't true. Live in your truth. Silence is the best response to people lying on you because you have nothing to prove. You can continue to live your life, be productive, be fruitful, and they'll realize, you know what, you're not what they say you are. I can't tell you how many times I've had people come back and apologize to me because they were in a conversation with somebody who had a problem with me, who wanted to try to mess up my name. They said, but as I watched you and as I follow you, you're not that person. And I've met you in person. You're a really cool person. So at the end of the day, lies are damaging. But guess what? They're also a great advertisement for your business. They are a great advertisement for your ministry, for your brand, because people love gossip. I hate to say it, it's the truth. They love gossip. So when people start running their mouth about you, talking about how bad you are, the first thing they do is look you up and start following you. See if you're saying anything in rebuttal to what they're saying or what you're. So now you got a whole group of followers from a lie. Ain't that something? So it works out for your good. It doesn't matter the original intent. When you are a good person and you're rooted and grounded in your faith, it will always work out in your favor. So tonight, listen, stop the lies. Just stop it. Stop the lies, you'll start living. It affects your health. It affects your mental capacity. It affects your personal growth. But at the end of the day, you have the opportunity tonight to make the change. I'm Coach Lele. Thank you for watching The Pink Couch. I'll see you next week.